Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Africa and another Division 1 matchup. We have Blinky versus Mr. Blue. My name is Atomo and I'm joined as always by Calamity. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great. And we've got a really interesting matchup because Blinky's in the playoffs as of right now in the penultimate week, and Mr. Blue is just outside of it. But they are pretty much level on everything else, Calamity.
Yeah, they're not too far apart from each other. Average points slightly higher for Mr. Blue, but both above 24k, which is pretty nice. And yeah, aces as well, slightly on Blinky's side. Position in the table, they actually, you can be a bit deceived by their record because they have the same record, but they're actually not that close together. I don't actually know how many points they're apart, but Blinky collected a lot of bonus points. So I think he's definitely at least like 2 or 3 points ahead now of Mr. Blue, and that is reflected in him being 3 positions ahead. But yeah, with 2 games to go for both of them, everything's still possible. I guess maybe not relegation, automatic relegation, but concerning the playoffs, everything can still happen.
Yeah, definitely. So they have a lot to play for in this one. Well, let's take a look at the map they'll be battling it out on this time. It is Africa by Mapper, an average score of just over 15,500, with about 5,700 locations and almost 20,000 plays. We've been talking about it pretty much all week, Calamity. Africa, a large continent, but not too much coverage in the continent, meaning we're going to see the same few countries come up time and time again.
Yeah, there's about 10 different countries that we see over and over and over, which is a bit of a shame because Africa is quite a huge continent. But, just with the way it is, I mean, you can't really drive a Google car through the desert and through the jungle, probably not very nicely either. So we're just left with a whole lot of nothingness in the middle there. I guess it also doesn't really make much sense financially for Google to cover it. But yeah, we do still have a few countries on offer. Mostly, actually, if you look at it, countries that are on the coast. Now that I think about it, is there any country in Africa that is covered in Street View and does not border the coast? I guess Botswana.
Botswana, yeah. The one
Yeah,
we
and
played.
technically Lesotho and Eswatini, but yeah, I guess Google just did that alongside South Africa anyway. Um, but yeah, most of them are just on the coast.
Yeah, definitely. So looking forward to this one. A couple of matches have been kind of South Africa heavy, so hopefully this one will be a little bit more diverse for Division 1 and give them a bit of a challenge. But yeah, in the continent, finding the right country is not always the problem, but the actual location can be, given that things are not always well labeled. So we can look forward to see how well they can pinpoint in this one for sure. And we will just jump right in to round number 1 here. And the car right away gives away the country, Kenya.
Yes, Kenya. Redeemed Gospel Church, of course, Africa. You're gonna see religious stuff within seconds.
It said the city of refuge, and I was like, I wonder where refuge is on the map.
You go look for it. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll
good
find
luck.
it.
You're probably not going to find it, though.
Go in opposite directions, which is
Yeah, they
interesting.
are.
You do have, I think we've mentioned that before as well, probably last season when we played Kenya, but you do have 2 different cars in Kenya. They are not, they don't go to the same places necessarily, but there's a lot of overlap, so you can't know for sure just based on the car.
A few nice signs there for Blinky.
Yeah, Blinky's found the sign Machakos.
So give him the town name. Now about working his way backward on where exactly he would have started. Mr. Blue, unfortunately, is going the wrong way. He's headed away from the town, while Blinky headed on into it, but he is coming up on an intersection here, which will give him something if he can read there. There we go. Machakos and
Yep.
Tala. Road number in Kenya. I don't think you see that many times.
You do see it occasionally. The problem is an E number, especially, I've never seen actually. The C numbers on the other signs, they show up sometimes, but rarely. And it's not like they're in a lot of different places and very well ordered or anything like that. Just doesn't really help you much.
Mhm.
But there is Machakos for Mr. Blue as well, and Tyler's relatively close to it, while Blinky's just guessed. Got a 5k.
Yep, no worries for him. The sign's definitely very helpful. Heading into town was better, and we can already kind of get a sneak preview at Mr. Blue's score as he narrows in on the round with 50 seconds left. Now he will head north to try to pinpoint his starting location. A nice curve to the west will help him out. That doesn't quite look like it yet.
It doesn't, but we know from Blinky that it is the right general area.
Yes. Weird that the curves aren't quite mapped
Mm.
in the street.
Yeah, you can see that Mr. Blue's like, it doesn't fit, but
Mhm.
at the same time, where else would it be?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's what Blinky did. Is it has to be here. There's the side road. We're south of that, and yeah, Komarok heading into the town.
And
And
time
yeah,
runs out.
timer will just run out. Just luckily he didn't move his pin away from that weird location, only losing 2 points to Blinky on that one. But yeah, also another thing, maps aren't always 100% accurate in Africa
Yes.
for round 1.
Especially in very rural locations, they can be quite odd.
Which means that at least Mr. Blue will try to figure out why that is the case in between rounds, but we'll get into round number 2 here. And across the continent into Nigeria.
Yep.
Ondo State. That'll be helpful for both of them. So
Mm-hmm.
neither of them really tested in the first 2 rounds so far.
More religious stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Blinky, I guess, not seeing the Ondo State sign, interestingly enough. Do you see it now?
I mean, he has looked at it, but I don't know if he's looked at it close enough. But he has now.
Ondo is quite a big city.
Maybe he just... There we go. He knows we're in the district, and the odds are we're in the city, given how built up it is.
There's multiple cities, though, in Ondo State, so I wouldn't just assume we're in Ondo itself.
Yeah, it is always a little bit hard to tell. There's never any good signs. You are here. It's just stuff is around here.
Blinky's looking at, looks like this, it's probably a good sign.
Oh, there we go. Kungu University. Aku Kungu. Adeku. So they've got a local school. Might be findable on the map.
Kumba Koko.
There we go. Mr. Blue's got it.
Yeah. And Blinky's
And
found it as
Blinky
well.
just a second behind. So
There's a significant side road there, as well as a gas station. Ogonude gas station, so Blinky should be in the right place.
yeah.
Or just next to it.
Yeah, Africa, one of
Mr.
those
Blue,
places definitely worth reading all the signs, as he will get an ace in his second round as well. Mr. Blue pretty much on the exact same location.
Mm-hmm.
Just has to feel confident enough to click that guess button.
There we go.
Side of the intersection.
Yep.
If he's on the wrong side, is that enough to drop a point? I mean, it's a continent map.
Not
so,
in Africa,
yeah,
no.
I don't think it would be enough to lose points, but accuracy counts.
Depends on how far on the wrong side of the intersection.
Oh, well, I guess that's true, yeah.
Kilometer down the road.
Yeah, just on the other side won't be too bad. An ace for him as well. So again, Calamity, 2 rounds, 2 pretty obvious countries, and plenty of good signs means we are pretty much level after 2.
Mm-hmm. Ready for number 3. Maybe provide a bit more of a challenge. Although round 1 wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but there were signs within even the short time span for Division 1 to find, as we'll jump into
Mm,
round number 3. And, well, it's not a paved road for a change,
yeah.
but we're probably in the South Africa region.
Yes.
Yep, there we go. Those signs definitely confirm it.
You already know partly because there's not some weird car meta. So there's not a lot of countries left.
Yep. And the weird camera angle for Blinky as well, but he's going to power through that and just keep clicking. Mr. Blue, as always, the more methodical and slow player, but can still do a lot with a little. So don't count him out
Got
just
it.
because he's not traveling. There
Oh.
we go.
Those signs are pretty close by to the start.
Yeah. You don't need to go speeding off. Blinky really traveling to the west, trying to find something.
Yeah. Paris and Reitsburg, and apparently Mr. Blue knows where Paris is.
Maybe because of the similar sounding name to the French capital. Stands in your mind sometimes, like Batman Turkey always stands out. Never forget where that is.
Do you actually know where exactly it is?
Roughly. I can find it on the map within a couple seconds.
All right.
So
Blink has found a good sign as well towards Potchefstroom, which interestingly enough is a city I would have recognized, whereas Paris wouldn't be.
there we go. River's going to help out Mr. Blue, and despite what it might look like, he does have an ace. His next closest competitor was quite a ways off. So, yeah, a bit of a rural location, but for at least Mr. Blue, not any harder.
Yep. Northwest Province. That's a good sign as well.
Mm-hmm. So you know that you head west into that. Oh, there's Paris on the map, and I don't think Blinky's seen that sign. At least he...
No, I don't think he's seen a sign towards Potchefstroom, so he must know that he's somewhere near there.
Yeah.
And I guess he knows that he's near the border
Mhm.
to the Northwest Province.
Yeah. And there's a nice river there as well. So frantically looking with about 30 seconds left. Gonna check along a river. That might help out. Yeah, but not having that town name is really kind of hurting him. He's in the right area, but isn't quite confident in where it might be because he doesn't have that.
Mm.
And hopefully doesn't click further away. With about 10 seconds left. Nope. Has to be somewhere closer. His APM is definitely given some StarCraft players run for their money. But unfortunately for him, time will run out and drop him outside of the tie range, 4,817 for him. So, yeah, just goes to show, Calamity, you don't have to travel far. Just have to find the right information to be able to get an ace and stay on top. So, advantage Mr. Blue.
Although it looks like, just from the path tracker of Blinky, that he went south as well to the next intersection. I thought that was the one that had the signs towards Paris and Reitsburg. But let me quickly just double check that with the seed, or if it was like one intersection further away.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually turned around fully in that intersection either, so he might have missed it in a blind spot.
Maybe.
But
should be about just like 5 seconds until I'm able to check that. Yeah, it was. He definitely went past those signs. I don't know if he saw them consciously, but they were definitely there.
Yeah, one of those things. Speed, not always an advantage. And Mr. Blue gets a little bit fortunate there with his opponent dropping some points like that, as we'll jump into round number 4. And another, probably South Africa, but...
Yeah. Definitely South Africa.
Mm-hmm. And being in a town means this one won't be too tricky for them as well, as long as they just get out of town and are able to find a road number. Like Blinky has. There we go. He won't miss that sign. The R56, Queenstown, N6.
Yeah. I think we had a location in Queenstown in a Division 2 seed in... was it in I don't remember if it was in Division 2. I think it was one seed for Lakes of the World that had a location in Queenstown. I don't remember which one it was exactly. So
Good.
people should know where it is if they've played that seed and if they can remember.
It's asking a lot. It's been a while, but you never
Yeah.
know.
Intersection with the N9 as well and the N10, so that gives him the exact city,
Yeah.
Middleburg.
Plenty of information. This time it is Mr. Blue who is behind in the information, but there we go. Middlesburg, a couple town names and some information. So he's going to be looking in the right area, roughly. There we go.
A
It's
few
a big
recognizable
town.
ones as well. Yeah, Graf Reinert as well, pretty recognizable.
And the town stood
And
out
this
on the
guy.
map quite well, too. I was surprised about that. So,
yeah, it is sort of in that area of South Africa where there's not a lot going on. So
Mhm.
the few cities you've got stand out a bit more, even if they're not that big.
so with around a minute left, both of them are down to try and figure out what exact street corner they might be on. And there we go. That's an interesting clue I've never noticed. Streets written on the curb. Helping out Mr. Blue, and Blinky, living up to his name reputation, just keeps going way too fast. We'll get to see that again as he doesn't even let the score show up. He did get an ace. Take my word for it. And
I guess
Mr. Blue will be not too far behind him with an ace of his own, 1 meter away in that. So, yeah. Did you know that clue about the street names on the actual curb?
I played the seed and I noticed it during that, but I hadn't seen it before either yet. No.
Yeah.
But I guess it saves some money. You don't have to buy a sign.
Yeah.
You can just put it on the curb.
And just spray paint it. Doesn't hurt anyone. And
maybe it depends on what coloring you use. Maybe
we'll
it's poisonous and all the birds are dying.
And yeah, Blinky with it all to do here. Mr. Blue has only dropped 2 points all game, and he's got to drop a bit more if he wants to get back into draw range.
Yeah, this is typical. Like, I have problems like telling apart outskirts of Maseru and Mbabane, the capitals of Lesotho and Eswatini. But this is typical for both of them, that kind of look.
Yeah, it is always tricky which one it is. Haven't really seen anything too much to give it away.
It can also be very difficult to pinpoint on the outskirts of both of them because they're very large cities and they're densely populated, but everything is just like very rural in a way. Pretty
there
poor.
we go, Maseru. Very urban development. Kingdom of Lesotho. That'll help out. And there another similar sign for Mr. Blue at the exact same time. He'll confirm everything. Yeah, Maseru always feels like it's going to be a bigger city, and then you're looking at it on street view, and it doesn't feel that dense. But it's just got stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It depends on how you look at it. I guess it's not dense in like population density because all of the buildings are just like stone blocks with like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people living in it. So it, like in terms of density population wise, it doesn't come anywhere close to like cities like, I don't know, Tokyo or New York or whatever. But every space is filled up essentially.
Yeah. How many people are in Maseru? What's the population?
My guess would be about 700,000-800,000.
Well, you'll be way off. It's 330,000.
I mean, it's not way off. I could have said 5 million.
That wouldn't even be an honest guess. But oh, I guess it does depend on how you calculate cities. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because is it the municipality or the greater metropolitan area and all that? So about exactly how many you have. So
which number comes closest to 700,000?
Greater metropolitan
That's the right
area.
one.
So as they continue with only a few seconds left to try to pinpoint this one, and it's a bit tricky. They both sort of know. Mr. Blue's got us in the northern east part. Blinky, I believe, is more a little bit
They're
south.
pretty
Last
close
time
to
I
each
saw him.
other.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Oh, and Blinky, if you can be a little bit slower there, 4,991 for him and 4,009. Oops. 999 for Blinky means that, as we'll take a look at their final scores, it's going to be really close. Yes, 24,816 for Blinky and 24,989 for Mr. Blue. So he did drop a few more points there, Calamity, but not enough, unfortunately, after that South Africa. Was it South Africa?
It was South Africa,
Yeah,
yes.
round where he dropped those 200 points. So yeah, very close. Not too demanding, except for the pinpointing aspect of things, as we kind of expected from Africa in this one. And it is Mr. Blue comes out with a very nice win, gives him a really good shot at promotion for sure, Calamity.
Yeah, he's still behind Blinky, actually. But it's now a lot closer between the two. And it'll come down to the last day on who of the two... What did you say? Did you say promotion?
Well, the playoff.
Yes, the playoffs. Who will get into the playoffs?
Yeah, well, we'll see you all next time then, and see who will be making the playoffs after we check out their matches in Romania. If you like this match and others like it, check out the channel. First, we have plenty of videos, lots of playlists for you to check out, and all the action from this season as well as the past 2 seasons of Reddit League. So you can catch up on all the history of these players, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Bye.